Another BS night here, Big Schmooze Land. Will, why don't you take it away? Get us started. What's going on tonight?
Well, we got a lot going on here, Tom. As you can see, I'm not physically present, but I am
you look
mentally present.
You look small.
I am both omnipresent and tall. Actually,
I said small. I didn't say tall. I said small.
I heard tall, so we're gonna go with that. I am actually very tall here in the metaverse. My avatar, as you can see, probably about 6'4", 6'5". So
I wouldn't have guessed. It looks like also your shoulders have gotten extremely small,
and my head has increased by tenfold.
Yeah. Oh, your head. I was thinking your head might be the same size it used to be, and everything else has just been squished.
You
look more confident, more arrogant, but more humble at the same time. How is that?
Well, that's just a great question and a lovely compliment. Honestly, I just feel that, being in the metaverse for the past 3 weeks has made me realize that we need to live our whole lives online. This is the future. This is very much the future. So I basically donated my body to science, kind of. I sort of told Mark, Mr. Zuckerberg, he lives a few houses down here in the metaverse. And so I basically told Mark, I was like, listen, Mark, you're doing all sorts of freak show experiments there at Facebook, unethical or otherwise, count me in. I'm down for the next level. I want to take this metaverse experience to the apex, So he says, oh, we got a new program we're working on where we dunk your body in sort of a self-sufficient pod where you're getting fed through a tube, breathing through a tube.
Yeah.
You live in a pod. And
I was reading about this, and I heard that there's some skepticism about his motivation. I know there's the sense that maybe he wants your naked body just to be sitting in a pod where he can go look at it whenever he wants. But there's also some thoughts that, I understand they sort of plug you in, right? There's almost like they put a little port in the back of your neck. They plug you in, and then that plugs into a big server, and it kind of harvests your energy. So in some ways, it's almost like you're turning yourself into a little outlet.
Well, yes and no. Yeah, yes and no. They are sort of harvesting my soul, my humanity. I do feel a bit drained, but as you're going through the metaverse, you're not thinking about these things. You're
not allowed to, right? There's a little chip that they put in your brain whenever you go there. It starts. There's this searing pain.
No comment. About
negative thought about Mark. I understand causes you the most horrific headache you've ever had in your life.
Let me just say no comment. No comment there. This is all brand new, so whatever Mark needs to do to get this experiment up and running, be it, when you sort of imagine him as an insane, sort of Nero, Claudius, sort of Caligula figure. He loves ancient Rome, Mark. So he whenever you sort of picture him as like an insane emperor, you might get a shock. That might be a future feature, but as of now, things are looking good, Tom.
On the flip side, Will, I've also been hearing that in addition to the headaches, if you see anything bad about Mark, there's also this sort of like thrilling pleasure, this sort of overwhelming pleasure that happens anytime you say something good about him. Like, for example, wow, Mark, you're looking really tan today. Then you get about 30 seconds of just complete euphoria.
No comment there as well.
No, you don't want to? You don't want to?
No, just no comment. That's
maybe I missed this last week. But is this because you needed to get your property in the metaverse back, or was there some sort of relationship peak you hit with Zuckerberg?
Yeah, no,
where did this come from?
That's very astute. Yeah, actually, I was sort of in the hole for about 0.25 mil, which again, it's a 0.25, so it doesn't look like a lot, but it is a lot. Yeah, it's a hole. If it's a knee-high hole, my grandpappy used to say, then it's still a damn hole. So
that's a very deep hole.
Yeah, no, it can still twist your ankle or something. Anyways, the long and short of it is that you when you dig yourself out of a hole, you got to climb back out of it. And I upgraded last week to an even more expensive house. I think it was 0.75 mil. So things are kind of moving up. You know, I'm sort of simultaneously climbing the social ladder while digging the hole deeper, so to speak. And Mark said, you know, hey, if you're looking for a way out, you know, I got a body project going on. Things are happening there.
And you signed your whole over to him, your soul over to him for 3 to 4 years, is my understanding.
Oh, there's a time limit, so you can revive your humanity after this. Is that what you're saying?
Whatever's left of Will's soul after 3 or 4 years, you know, maybe Zuckerberg wants to renew it, maybe not. I think, Will, you get you know, it's a new life. You've started a new life. You've entered a new world, and I think you maybe expected it to be kind of in like a boom time, but I understand there's been some worrying signs in the metaverse economy. Is that right?
Yeah, there have been some kind of concerns. You know, body science is not a real science or a direct science, so it's sort of hard to describe. But overall, I'd say the project is going very well. The metaverse itself, you know, this beautiful house I'm in, I actually picked it up for cheaper than it should be, due to a bit of a housing crisis here in the metaverse. Real estate is just tanking right now. But you know, the thing is, I'm sort of trying to be positive about this because I'm already in the pod. I've already got my body in a sort of fluid tank, suspended from the ceiling. You know, sort of like Walt Disney being cryogenically frozen, but
this is
still alive at the same time.
This is in a large chamber with about 30 to 40,000 other bodies, right?
Yeah, and you know, harvester robots sort of you know, patrolling around, sort of making adjustments, fine-tuning things. Yeah, it's all sort of out of a movie if you kind of picture it.
And so we're talking to your brain waves. You're not actually speaking. Is that?
Yeah, it's sort of my thoughts are being vocalized. So as you can see, I'm just a little bit of a cartoon man here.
You are a little cartoon man for sure.
Yeah, a little cartoon man. Big little.
But so much bigger than just a cartoon man. You are omnipresent now.
Little man in a tank is what it sounds like. Little man in a little tank of water.
No, just a man in a regular tank of water, regular sized man in a tank of water.
Do you think Zuckerberg ever walked in the way that people have, like in their basement? Sometimes they'll have like their whole wall is a bunch of fish tanks, and I mean, essentially that's what he set up here. It's a bunch of humans in tanks. You think he just goes down and kind of watches you guys little like squirm in the water? He drops little pebbles of food for you, then you kind of like, you know, reach for them and eat them.
You know, I'd like to not think about that because again, we have the housing crisis kind of around the corner here. I've already signed off and at least a month on the body project here, to kind of help, you know, foot the bill for the meta mansions. So I'm trying to stay positive here. You know, I know things are rough, but from what I understand, you're having a hell of a time selling tickets on your. Are you still doing a tour? I think last week you were doing a tour, but it got canceled probably. So,
well, yes, Will, as you know, my Unthinkable Tour was all about the things we aren't allowed to say. There's so much censorship in the world. We're not allowed to say things, think things, sing things. And I was going to really dive into all that. And, you know, as you would probably guess, exactly the thinkable happened, which is they canceled me. You know, I can't do this tour anymore. Because they won't let me say those things, Will. And it's exactly what I predicted. And it shows exactly what's wrong with society in a nutshell.
You should have called it the uncanceling tour. That would have been perhaps a bit of reverse psychology.
Well,
there.
Look, the point is, you know, they wouldn't let me do it. They wouldn't. Nobody was allowed to buy the tickets, is my understanding. There was all these TikTok challenges. The challenge was to not buy the ticket, even though you really wanted to. The same way the ice bucket challenge, you didn't want to pour cold water on your head. People really wanted to buy this ticket, and you know, they were just pressured not to by the media. So I assume that's why we didn't sell more than a couple seats.
That's probably a valid excuse. I do think that. And I don't want to sound presumptuous here, but I would say that from what I've seen on TikTok, and maybe Courtney can corroborate this, it seemed like the majority of videos were kind of just saying that there's nothing that goes on. You know, this show is kind of a waste of time.
Yeah,
you know, he just stands there on stage sort of thinking things that I'm supposed to think are unthinkable. But then, you know, that sort of makes me just sit in the audience in silence, kind of thinking horrible thoughts. So a lot of people on TikTok didn't really like that angle of it. And
Will,
I don't know, Courtney, maybe you could speak to this before Tom sort of jumps in to defend whatever.
The only thing I'll say is I did see a TikTok of a very famous influencer saying that the only thing they gathered that was going to be at this show was that there was no thought behind it. That you were genuinely advertising yourself as the unthinkable. You are unable to think, which is why I deleted my TikTok app right away, Tom.
Sort of the thoughtless man giving the unthinkable tour.
Well, look, Will, this is propaganda. It's coming from some people with deep pockets, and nobody's ever done nice propaganda. They come up with mean things to say, and I knew this was going to happen because what I had to think was pretty dangerous. Look, I got taken down in my prime, much like John Lennon
or John Cougar Mellencamp,
Betty White.
Like Betty, like John, I'm trying, I'm out there. Maybe I'll come up with another one. What my business manager has encouraged me to do is we did do one of the shows, right? There were several sold out seats in that show. And I did the whole thing and we filmed it. And he says, you know what? The future's not in live entertainment. You know, as Will, you can probably corroborate, the future is all online. It's all the fungibles, the non-fungibles, all the different iterations of funge. And he says, look, we filmed this thing. That's 24 frames per second of a 16-hour show. That's a lot of NFTs we can sell to make a little money off of this and to give everybody not only a piece of history, but a piece of culture that's really, really dangerous and that cannot be replicated. So there's a lot of them out there, and I am selling each of them for about $750. So if you are interested in an NFT from the Unthinkable Tour before it was taken down in its prime, like when John Lennon got shot, like when Betty White she didn't get shot, when she died peacefully after her stroke, and like what happened to John Mellencamp, Will? Is he?
Oh no, he just sort of fell off the map. I don't think he does much music.
So like when John Mellencamp fell off the map, you can get the moment that it's happening, right? Be in the room when it happens. So $750 for NFTs. They are limited. It is only 24 frames per second for 16 hours. So look, you better get it fast is all I'm saying. So go to my site, get the NFT, frame it, do whatever you do with those. I don't actually get it. My business manager tells me it's like art or something. But look, that's how we're going to salvage this thing. We have someone in the comments. Will, we have Will, our old friend Will, not the Will who's in the metaverse. He says he wants one. All right, Will. Well, you know where to go and you know how much to pay. So I'll watch my bank account tonight and see what happens.
Let's hope something happens. That sounds like a great opportunity. I'm actually looking to buy some NFT art here in the metaverse, and let me tell you, it goes great on the walls. I tried to buy a Da Vinci NFT, but I got outbidded by some SOB.
They're out there.
So I got a Mondrian on my wall instead, and it's just not the same. I don't know if you know. It's just a lot of sort of bright squares, and I don't like that as much.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's all. I don't like how pixelated is it all. Like if you buy the Mona Lisa, does it sort of just look like a Minecraft, like wall, little field?
Yeah, I mean, a little bit, but again, you can pay for upgrades. Mark is making things better every day. So thank you, Mark. Thank you for your kindness, your wisdom, your vision.
God,
praise you,
Ooh,
Mark.
he's buzzing.
May he always.
He's buzzing hard.
I wish I was you right now, Will. Oh, I'll tell you that much.
Let me tell you, it's sort of like if you're in the hospital and you have a little button that gets you morphine any time of the day. You just say something kind about Mr. Zuckerberg. He's not an alien. He's definitely a real human.
You just said like 15 things. Will, you gotta calm down here. You're gonna fry your brain and whatever.
All right, you're right. I gotta in moderation. Yes.
Yeah. We got a show to do anyway. Why don't you wait until the show's over before you go to Pleasure Town here, all right? So Courtney, you were gone last week. What was the story?
Yeah, I missed you guys. It's good to be back. I am not at liberty to actually disclose where I was last week. Hopefully further developments will allow me to kind of share my new life-changing story with you. It's just currently unfolding right now, so I'm actually, I can't really say anymore.
Sounds like a spy operation. You took out somebody, and you had to get out of town fast.
You're a hit woman.
Yep.
Hit
Much like whoever took out John Cougar Mellencamp and Betty White, Courtney is now, she's not one of the deranged ones. She's one of the good people who does that, who works for governments. So
it's the good that die the youngest, Tom. Betty was the best example of that.
It's the best who take out the good who die the youngest.
It's the good that take out the bad who do the best for the great.
That's right.
Took the words help the most of us.
Are making me really want to say what it is I'm doing, because I really think that I could help you to unpack this conversation more.
We're all ears, except Will, who is a digital pixel of some sort.
Oh, I can still hear. They plug in some ear hole channels, and I get sort of great audio here in surround sound. So it's please go ahead, as long as it doesn't involve sort of getting rid of us as well.
It's not about getting rid of you guys necessarily. It's more becoming more like you guys.
Oh boy, you're gonna be a little pixelated lady next week.
You want to join us in the metaverse? Tom does.
Metaphorically, I will join you both in your own sort of verse, but again, I'm really inching close to that line of sharing a little bit too much. I just want you to know that I see you and I hear you and I understand you.
Will, I think this sounds like you're next. I wouldn't be surprised if tonight you feel a little pain in the back of your neck and you're like, I'm not saying anything negative about you, Mark, I promise. And somebody's unplugging you, and that's the end.
All they would have to do is sort of unplug my mouth breathing operation here. I'm in a tank of fluid, so I would drown probably immediately. They shaved my whole head and my whole body before I got into the tank, sort of saying it's the most hygienic way to do things. So who am I to argue? And so anyways, I'm a bald little man, sort of in a tank, but I'm not emotionally vulnerable. I'm just sort of physically vulnerable. So
you're a human meat nub per se.
Well, I wouldn't go that far.
I would go.
I wouldn't really dare to phrase it like that. Although maybe one could argue that, but again, I wouldn't.
Maybe instead of a meat nub, we could call you a pork shank.
Oh, that just sounds like food.
Yeah,
you're not Army Hammer, are you?
That sounds delicious, and what I'm picking up from Will's current state is it's not so delicious. I mean, how are you not pruny?
Oh, I bet he's so pruny.
I mean, I might be pruny. I just get a status update every morning. It sort of says body at 97% optimal functionality. It goes through a sort of a little quick rundown of my oxygen intake and all the important stuff, basically. So it's great. You guys gotta come on in. The water's fine, so to speak.
If we go in there with the housing collapse in the metaverse, I mean, as I recall, when this happened in the real world, it was something where there was during the bubble, it was easy to get a house. After the bubble burst, not so much. So I mean, it sounds like you might actually be living in kind of like a ghost town pretty soon. Might just be little Mark Zuckerberg running around your fence, sticking his little eyes over to ask for compliments.
Well, let's hope it never comes to that.
Will, do you still like me? Will, how do I look today? How's my hair?
It looks very human, Mark. His favorite compliment is when you say very human of you. Yeah, I don't know why. It just sort of gets the biggest buzz.
I'm not going to die, am I, Will? I'm never going to die, right?
You'll live forever, Mark. As we all know, you have unlocked plenty of potential in the human body. You're a walking Adonis.
I could beat up Bezos if I tried, right, Will?
Absolutely. With the human fists, you'd smash his little human face. He loves the human stuff. I don't know. Any sort of lizard talk turns him right off of, any barbecue plans or whatever. Just the second you're like sort of, hey, Mark, I told him actually the other day, did you know lizards have to sort of sit in the sun to sort of, get their blood warm. And he looks at me, he's tanning by the pool. So this was a bad time to tell him. And he says, "Do I look like a lizard to you?"
Yeah.
I said, "No, of course not."
And then his eyes kind of oscillated to the side a little bit.
Maybe.
Yeah, they quickly switched from their natural setting, the slits, to the round shape of our eyes. And then he turned and looked at you. His tongue went back in its mouth.
His forked tongue.
Right, exactly.
Of course, yes. Well,
it sounds like a healthy relationship, Will. I'm glad you got.
It's fine. And, it's the metaverse. So, again, he could be manipulating his android or his avatar to look like this. So maybe he's sort of in on the joke, "Oh, I am a lizard person. Maybe look like that in the metaverse to throw people off in the real world."
If there's one thing
quite clever,
Zuckerberg, he's often in on the joke.
He's very much in on the joke, and he's 10 steps ahead of the joke, I'd like to add.
Yes.
He seems to know how things are perceived quite well. He's a perception guy, and I tip my hat to him. Congratulations, Mark.
Do you have his sponsorship for the show? Is that what this is?
I wish. I told him the other day, I was like, "Mark, you should just sponsor me. I'm practically a body science donation here." And he says, "I do have some friends over at a food business that need some help. So I do have a sponsor from a food company, but nothing from the metaverse."
Will, would you like to go to a food business with me and put the food in the mouth?
In our human mouths? Of course, Mark. That sounds like great fun.
Would you like to put the non-human food in my human mouth for me, Will?
Sure, and then we chew it up and spit it into napkins as we always do? That sounds great, Mark.
Well, can I come over and you can feed me again?
Does it have to be from the little lizard, human bottle? Because I can work on whip up some formula.
He comes over, turns himself into like a little Mark Zuckerberg baby, lets you coddle him, feed him.
It's emotionally nourishing, is what Mark says. So who am I to judge? And
you really can't say no, can you?
You're not really allowed to, because Mark is still in the real world, and I'm sort of plugged into the metaverse, even in the real world. So again, I'm not emotionally vulnerable, but I'm physically vulnerable. And I'm
Will, I know it's 3 a.m. I need you to come over and feed me again.
Yeah, sure, Mark. I'll be.
It only
right
feels
over.
good when you say yes. That's what
it's quite the dynamic he's set up for all of you. All 40,000 of you in there who all have to say yes, or else there's excruciating pain. It's I guess it's godlike in a way.
Yeah, it's definitely a power move, and
just like
all power to
a
Mark.
little bit ickier.
In what way?
Well, you're pruned for one.
Well, I mean, allegedly.
Yeah, I mean, I do like that. While Bezos is out searching for new worlds to conquer, Zuckerberg has just made one, and he's welcomed you right in.
Exactly, and the thing is, I used to order stuff from Amazon, but that experience is only so immersive, and it's just sort of pales in comparison to a Facebook experience.
Right. And
everybody knows Facebook is the future. It's definitely the social media platform that gets the most people nowadays. So I think I'm sort of ahead of the curve, if you will, sort of finger on the pulse, a bit of a tastemaker. Other people have said this about me, so I don't want to put my own compliments in my own mouth. But again, this is just sort of par for the course here, and I'm looking forward to see what Mark has in the future, because it's all stable here, and things are going to be getting better.
Well, on that note, Courtney, you're in charge of the news on this show, and we really appreciate having somebody who's really on the pulse of everything that's in the real world, not so much in the metaverse. So, what happened this week? What do we need to know?
It's funny, Tom, because when I was born, that is the first thing that my dad said about me is this girl is really going to be on the pulse of everything. She knows what's new, what's happening, when it's happening, and why.
He's looking at you in the hospital bed. She knows what's happening in the world. This one.
Yeah.
Mark my words. I prophesy this child shall speak the news in 10, 20 years.
I said my dad would be bald in
a wise man.
2022.
Bald wise man.
It's more of like a prophecy than the news, but sure.
Perhaps a curse if we're talking about the baldness, but
Aren't all prophecies news almost?
I mean, I guess they're just premature news.
Potential news.
It's the newest news.
Yes.
It's
news before you want to hear it.
It's sort of pre-news news.
Yeah, so in news today, actually, Will, you've probably heard this, but the Easter Bunny lost out on a $0.9 million contract with Mark Zuckerberg in the Metaverse. Wow. So unfortunately for you,
it's going to be a rough Easter here in the Metaverse.
If you celebrate Easter, you will be in so much pain.
Gosh. You know, I wanted to celebrate Christmas, but Mark says, we're only doing Sol Invictus. We only celebrate Sol Invictus. And I said, Mr. Zuckerberg, that's kind of psychotic. Nobody celebrates this anymore. And he says, this is the origin of the day, and we're all going to dress up in togas. And yeah.
If you celebrate Christmas this year, don't be surprised if some meta criminals break your windows and your legs.
Yeah, it's, you know, things are... there's low crime here, but things can still be rough around the edges depending on how close you are to the inner circle. And anyways, I don't want to cut into the news here because my stuff is far more boring.
It's important though. And once I'm able to disclose what I've been up to for the last week plus, I'm really excited to be able to level with you a little bit more. But everything that you're talking about in the Metaverse, Will, makes me want to congratulate you that there is not daylight savings there, and that we only here on this earth will be experiencing that 1 extra hour where everyone saves extra money.
That's exciting. Is when is that? We don't have daylight savings here in the Metaverse.
Right. It is Sunday morning, I believe. So everyone, I think it's at the same time everywhere, no matter where you are. Everyone stops, goes to the bank, puts in an extra X amount of dollars. The sun stays up, goes right back down, comes back up once again. Daylight savings.
Beautiful.
All right. What's next in the news, Courtney?
Next in the news, let's see. Actually, hold on just a second. This is super important headline that I gotta read.
Breaking news, everybody. Breaking news exclusive. Is it an exclusive, Courtney?
This is an exclusive.
Do we have a jingle? An exclusive news jingle?
I don't.
Da, 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 da.
Next week we'll have a jingle.
Okay,
now that we didn't have one, it was embarrassing to me. I'll tell you that much.
That's okay. I ripped off Sunday Night Football. Da, 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 da. Okay, go ahead, Courtney.
Now the news with Courtney.
Courtney.
Okay. I have it prepared here. Hold on just a second.
I wish that is how the Sunday news worked, is they do the jingle twice. Two different people would announce it. And then the anchor just, yeah, give me a second here.
It's around here.
I'll find it. Look, I'm very I know what the piles are, all right?
There's a bunch of piles of papers, and you just see a news.
Don't touch the piles. Yeah, I know what the hell it is. I don't know what it's going to be if you move it.
Oh, Christ, you've mixed up the traffic and the weather. Now it's going to be a fuck show.
Yeah, I need them to be in 3 different drawers, all right? That's my system.
Oh, this one. Okay. This is, this is what I was thinking about telling you guys all day. Fuddruckers, Fuddruckers, the restaurant.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Just signed a deal. 1,000 new locations in Russia.
So everybody in the world has pulled out of Russia. Every single company, all the banks, and Fuddruckers is like, I know where there's a lot of opportunities. I know where there's going to be a lot of empty storefronts in the next week. Russia.
We should double down.
Wow.
Just the news from my most reliable news source, The Onion.
Vladimir Putin gives a new speech. Like, I've got very good news as far as the economy goes. We've just signed a deal. 1,000 new Fuddruckers coming soon.
And he holds up the presidential thing that he signs, sort of like the previous
It's what
American
the people want.
I guess it might be what the Russians want. I don't know. I don't know if Courtney, have you ever eaten at a Fuddruckers?
No, Tom, I haven't.
I haven't either, so I can't comment about their food, but I do hope for the Russians' sake that it tastes edible.
I'll say this much. I think I went there once when I was like 12. I remember it being a greasy burger, and there does tend to be an audience for that. You know, people like the greasy burgers, so you know, we'd like to wish Fuddruckers the best, I guess.
A lot of tank tops in that place, I'm assuming.
Probably a lot of cargo shorts as well.
Yeah. If even, you know, that nice.
If even a shirt.
Yes.
It's a Fuddruckers, for Christ's sake. There's no laws in those types of places.
Yeah, they believe in freedom.
Speaking of no laws, in other news, not sure if you guys have heard about this one, but Edward Cullen is Bruce Wayne.
Oh yes. Actually, I saw this movie, the new Batman, which I just want to preface. It's longer than Apocalypse Now. It's longer than it's longer than Zodiac. It's longer than what's another long movie? It's like a classic, one of the best long movies.
The Never-Ending Story.
I don't remember how long that is, but as far as its name goes, I would say that would have been a good alternate title for the Batman.
And these are all long movies.
I just want to point out some movies that are longer than the Batman, or sorry, that are not as long. That the Batman is longer than Heat. Wow. Heat is another one. So I just like when you think about how much story do I have, how much runtime do I have for my movie about a guy who dresses up in a rubber outfit and kind of solves crimes, kind of just like beats up people and gets his girlfriend killed a lot. You know, in this case, they said, "Oh, we got 3 hours worth for sure." And so I sat through the 3 hours worth, and you know, I got to say, pretty boring movie. So one of the things they do in it is they try to make it like, okay, we're going to bring all these different elements of crime in. So it starts off with the Riddler as like this Zodiac type guy, right? So he's like a crazy 1970s person. And then you also have the Penguin, who's kind of just this like, you know, crime lord who's sort of on the up and coming, you know, he's up and coming. He's not quite there yet. And he is dressed like, I don't know, Al Capone. It kind of seems like it's just Robert De Niro playing Al Capone in The Untouchables, but it's Colin Farrell. Have you seen Colin Farrell in this movie?
I did see, I heard a rumor that he would be in it, and I did see him.
Yeah, so I want to show you what they decided to make him look like, because it's an interesting choice. It's certainly a choice. I guess I'll say that much. So here, let me share this with you. Because Colin Farrell is, you know, he's like an attractive looking guy. I don't know why you need to cast him as this. Can you see this?
It's too bad James Gandolfini is dead.
James Gandolfini. Well, or also, you know what this looks like is Richard Kind. You know Richard Kind?
Oh, looks exactly like Richard Kind. It's kind of an insult.
Here we go. Somebody else thought this too.
Wow.
Their version of making him an ugly, creepy Al Capone guy. It looks to me like somebody gave the makeup department a picture of Richard Kind and said, "Can you make Colin Farrell look like that?" And
that guy looks like a villain.
Well, and so Colin Farrell's walking around. He looks like this, and he's like talking like an old timey gangster. Like, yeah, see, I'm gonna shoot that guy. See, and it's just like, what is happening here? We got like a 1970s Zodiac thing going on, mixed with like a Prohibition era crime movie, and then we have Batman and Catwoman running around. I don't know. I'm not the audience for it, but I got to say, I don't know. Not Edward Cullen's fault, but real snooze fest. Do they have movies in the metaverse, Will?
Yeah, we have movie theaters, although it is sort of pointless.
Not the Social Network. I imagine that one's banned. A lot of pain if you try to watch that one.
What movie, Tom?
The Social Network.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, I know. I get it. I'm reading between the lines. I get it. Robert Pattinson, in the meantime, I have noticed also he's been doing this the press tour. He just seems to like to say the most random things that he can come up with in order to, I don't know, just have fun because he's bored. But so this was an answer. They asked about how did he go about getting into characters as Batman, and he says it was grueling. I came to set every day and played Sonic Adventure 2 in my trailer, but only the dark story. That's where you play as Shadow the Hedgehog. I wanted to study him, become him. By understanding his angst, I knew I could channel that in my performance. It was tough. Every day I saw Shadow process this big trauma. He watched his best friend die in front of him, and he's just now lost. Now he's just lost. He tries to do right by his friend, but it's also hard to sort through. He's hurt, but he does what he thinks is the right thing, and that's what Batman is about.
This is a sad but deeply compelling sort of motive for a character. It's
profound.
Yeah, it's sort of like Christian Bale staying in character behind the scenes. This is sort of method acting.
Well, and I think it fits as well because the people who are obsessed with having more Batman movies, they don't really want, as far as I can tell, like real dramatic depth. Because the whole reason why you only watch superhero movies is because you really just want to stay 5. And so I think that's probably the right emotional draw, really. He maybe understands Batman and the audience for Batman better than anybody else.
It sounds like a great movie.
Yeah, I just don't get it.
Which part?
I don't get the
bat
whole
and the man.
superhero affinity. I don't get how people could just dedicate their entire lives or social lives to loving superheroes so much. I say that as I show you my office studio space that is currently suited as Gotham City.
You're living in the Batman.
I was gonna say, nice gothic Gotham, a Gotham
I'm not
space.
shaming
God,
it. I'm just saying
something
I don't
there.
get it.
Well, I when we were growing up, I don't know, we're all like similar ages, but slightly different. But I remember these the Val Kilmer and George Clooney ones. And there was a time when at least we could acknowledge that Batman is kind of a stupid concept. We didn't have to hide that and pretend that it's very serious and dark and full
And cool.
Yeah, right. So I actually have another thing, which was back when Batman. I don't know if it was good exactly. I'm not going to quite go that far, but it felt like we knew kind of what Batman was, and we weren't hiding from it. This was the kind of ad that would happen, the kind of product placement that would happen, in fact, with Batman. So here, let me play this for you.
Hello, Gotham Corner Store. We seem to be down to our last diet fruit. A gentleman is on his way to pick some up. Just look for a black cow. And by the way, the gentleman is usually in quite a rush.
Just for the taste again, Diet Coke.
Batman's in a rush, all right. He's already out on video cassette. Catch Batman now at a special book run.
I miss having a jingle with every commercial.
Well, I love to. They could have played the Batman theme instead. It's just this like do 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 do. It's they do a Diet Coke jingle.
Also, I love how low effort that commercial was. They just had Alfred do like 3 lines, and then they just showed clips from the movie of Batman driving, and then they just said, "Out now."
I like that Batman isn't actually endorsing this product.
It's
for
Alfred.
Anyone. He has nothing to do with it, essentially. Actually,
Well, like, in the logic of the commercial, Alfred has sent Batman to pick up some Diet Coke for him. Is that the idea?
Yeah, the butler sends the billionaire to go pick up the groceries.
Master Bruce, I need more Diet Coke. We're out of Diet Coke.
That's Michael Caine.
Well, I don't have a Michael Go impression. I'm sorry.
Is that who that old man was?
What would Michael Caine ask for? Like, Master Bruce.
Do you have any of those ginger kombuchas left? I love those. You got any?
Alfred, they didn't have them at Hy-Vee. I went and looked already.
Did you try looking for this California citrus?
I was just there. How many? Can you call the store and ask if they have it?
It's the bloody GT kombucha, Bruce. It's so easy to find. A gas station
Bruce,
would have them.
I raised you, and you can't even get me my kombucha.
All right, I'll be Batman, and I'll be angry that I gotta go. Alfred, why I gotta go pick this up? I'm already in bed.
When your parents died, one of the last things I told your father was, "I'll take care of Bruce if you ever die." And I said, "You know what? I'll make sure that he's got everything he ever needs." And you know what I need right now is cherry Coke.
Alfred, just because you raised me doesn't mean you can hold a debt over my head where I have to go buy you a Diet Coke at 3:00 in the morning when I'm 39.
It does in fact mean that.
It doesn't work like that.
Look, here's a video that your mother left me. Here's a video right here. This is Martha.
Is this? Wait, I've never seen this before. Is this?
Yes.
Why have you been keeping this from me? For how long? How many years? Is it important? Is it something that would have helped me when I was younger? Just show me.
Okay, I'm playing it.
Oh, that's Ma. That's Ma, right? Okay, I can't take much more of this, Alfred. I'm gonna go buy those Diet Cokes.
That's what I thought, Master Bruce. You go, and you also can you pick up some of the sushi, the grocery store sushi. I don't like this nice stuff that you keep ordering.
Do we have any more toilet paper as well?
Eventually gets toilet paper.
Are we out?
I don't know. I haven't been shopping actually. Let me just give you the list while you're out. I'm going to watch 60 Minutes, and you can go grocery shop.
All right. Don't tell me what happens. DVR it. I love
Batman
and Robin are.
I'm going to watch it by myself, and if you want to DVR, you can watch it on your own. I've raised you since your parents died.
You know, Alfred, you keep holding that over my head like the sword of Damocles every time I want to do anything.
You think I can just pause the 60 Minutes? It's going to be old news by the time you get back from the store, Master Bruce.
You know what? F you, Alfred. I don't need this. This is emotional manipulation, Alfred, at its finest.
I love this idea.
That's an unhealthy.
6 times a day, he gets a call from Alfred, and he's like, "Look, I raised you. I need you. I need you to get more toilet paper for me. Can you bring me?
Stop by and bring me an apple pie from McDonald's?
Yeah. Can you please preheat the oven? I'm actually going to go on vacation for the next 6 months.
Batman, can you reheat that Greek food we had yesterday in the air fryer, please?
Sure, Alfred. No problem. These are such specific instances.
Master Bruce. Can we talk logistics about how many times Batman should squeak a day? How many times his suit should be squeaking? And
like the rubber noises.
Yeah.
You know what would have been funny is to just have Christian Bale putting a bunch of lotion on his skin so it doesn't chap up because of all the leather. Like in between, like him wearing the suit, you just see him sort of rubbing it on his shoulders, his knees, he's
got lotion IVs that pump and penetrates beneath the leather.
Alfred, we're running low on shea butter. This stuff does wonders for my skin.
Better go to the store then.
Well, no, I was hoping you would actually go this time, just because I've gone the last 50 times.
Master Bruce, I've told you 15 times. The Masked Singer new episode is out tonight, and I'm going to watch it.
But you don't even DVR these things for me, Alfred. You just watch them without me.
It may be on Netflix. I maybe can't, whatever. But look, this might be the Rudy Giuliani one. I really want to see it.
In that case, it's just a replay, Alfred. You go get the groceries yourself.
Yeah, this is I gotta say, me and Mark Zuckerberg have a weird relationship, but this seems far weirder. I think this is a little more codependent.
Master Bruce, can you do my dishes and laundry today?
Master Bruce, that Dutch oven needs to be hand washed and not stuck in the dishwasher, please.
Bruce is just constantly doing chores.
They're all very specific rich people chores, though. He's like, Master Bruce, the hedges can't be higher than 12 feet and 6 inches. You know this.
I told you how to work the bloody vacuum, Master Bruce. What did you do in there?
Those petunias look like garbage, Bruce. What the heck have you been doing with the gardening lessons I paid for?
There's crumbs all over the floor, Master Bruce.
I just bought that new shark vacuum like 2 weeks ago, and you don't even use it to pick up the crumbs. Bruce, I just can't handle it anymore. Man, these British people are real picky.
It's especially funny. So Robert Pattinson's youngish, right? But Christian Bale's 45 by the time he's done being Batman. For him to be 45 and just doing all the chores for Alfred would be a great dynamic.
when he clearly has enough money for a maid, but Alfred's just emotionally manipulating him into doing the stuff himself.
I promised your parents I'd be the only butler for Wayne Manor.
And now you are my protege. Learning to be your own butler for when I am gone.
Bruce, I need $6 million tonight. Don't ask me why. I've raised you.
And then maybe Bruce asked for a small favor. He's like, Alfred,
Can you help me tie these tennis shoes? You know, I've
Can you
always had trouble
scratch
tying
the
my
top
shoes.
left corner of my shoulder.
Who was
Bruce.
dead the day after your parents died, Bruce? Me. And you asked me for this?
Alfred, please just hand me the back scratcher. I got a real problem area that my arms can't reach. Can you just over there, Alfred? Just you mind handing it? I know you're old, but it's within arm's reach. Just if you don't mind, just pass it to me. I could have grabbed it already, but just you mind, Alfred? Maybe.
Alfred
Grabbing
pretends to be asleep, even though he's like just talking to him,
Alfred's a real jerk.
like snoring like right in the corner. Like, Alfred, I was just talking to you 10 seconds ago.
Peeks his little eye open.
Yeah. Alfred, you just opened your eye. I just saw it.
All right, screw this. I'm moving out.
He gets a lonely one-person studio apartment in the city.
That's
Sort of a
what it is.
divorce situation.
Let me hold all your money just so it's safe. Let me put it all in my account.
Let me put it in a trust fund for both of us, Bruce.
Give you some when I think you need it.
I know this guy, Bernie Madoff. He's a hell of a hedge fund man, and he's going to take good care of us, Bruce. Bernie is a good guy. I've never met him, but he's highly recommended.
Master Bruce, we have to leave the mansion. I lost it all.
Master Bruce, our house is being foreclosed upon. Your family's mansion is gone due to my gambling addiction that I never told you about until now.
But you never stopped me.
Remember all those nights when I'd ask you for $10-15 million? Well, I lost all of that, plus more. I actually need more. How much do you got?
How much do you have?
Alfred would just go to the casino every night. Be like, how many chips would it be to have $15 million?
That's 15 of our $1 million chips. I'll take those.
Yeah. And give me a couple.
I'll put everything on red. Everything on red.
Not in 5 minutes every night.
He's a terrible gambler, but he's still highly addicted. he's like, Master Bruce, now that you're of legal age to take over the estate, I must confess, I've had a bit of a soft spot for the old roll of dice. So I've lost a bit of your cash.
It's never red, Master Bruce. It's never red.
It's always black. It's always number 8. Except until when it's not. And then you bloody lose everything. Man, I love this that Alfred's sort of a lot less responsible in these movies, and he's just sort of letting little Master Bruce do whatever. He's got gambling, chronic addiction problems.
I like too that the money's gone so fast that Bruce reasonably would think Alfred just like went to the store or like had gas or something, but he would go to the casino and just lose it instantly.
He'd come back home really weepy, and then he'd be like, "I've lost it all, Bruce. I've lost it all, Master Bruce."
Just thinking about your parents again, Master Bruce. Lovely people.
He still talks like this as a child.
Alfred, where were you?
He's like 5 or 6.
Alfred, where were you? I was wondering where you were. I was looking to put on the next episode of Coyote and the Roadrunner, but I couldn't find the remote.
Master Bruce, I know you're but a wee child, but it's tough life ahead of you, sir. What a real piece of work Alfred is. Huh?
I think we've always had good Alfreds. I think it's time we have just a terrible one. You know,
like a bad Alfred. We can make that a movie. There's been bad Santa. We'll make bad Alfred.
Well, what a great concept. Now the Batcave is gone. The mansion is gone. It's all because Alfred had all the money.
They're living in a 3-bedroom, but still semi-damp apartment in the Upper East Side.
The two of them together too. Yeah, just like sharing a room, like a 1-bedroom apartment. Just like all the domesticity issues. Yeah,
all the shouting,
nice holes in it.
There's occasionally a large rat that runs across the apartment.
Did you touch my ramen, Master Bruce?
I think that was the rats, Alfred. I think the rats have been getting into everything, Alfred. We gotta move.
Can't you use your bloody Batman powers to stop the rats from eating my ramen?
Alfred, I don't have any of my stuff anymore. It all got possessed. And the bank came and took all of our things.
They got to start from scratch. The American dream.
This is a good conflict for him to have to deal with. How do you become Batman if you don't have money anymore?
He's got to get like a minimum wage job at like 50 because he has no other work experience. This is the real American dream, right?
I think what it is they have to go to the casino and try to win it all back with like one last asset, like the one thing that he can still sell. He's like, all right, we got $100,000. We got to go win it all back.
Yeah, the first time they have enough deposit for like a decent house or something to upgrade from their rat infested apartment, they just go blow it at the casino. They're like, Master Bruce, we finally have enough money to put our name on it. You know, we have either one of two things. We have a down payment for a decent mortgage and a beautiful house in the estates, or we could go to the casino and
we could put it all on black.
Yeah, try our hand with Lady Luck one more time. Luck be a lady tonight, Bruce. Please, luck be a lady. Win us some gold. Oh man, I think Alfred is just so much funnier with a gambling addiction that I would watch a 20-part series of Alfred now.
Just the tension of the two of their faces. It's all on black.
It's all on number 8. They're like, this is it, Bruce. It's either this or we jump off the bridge tonight. I'll tie the cinder block to your feet and you do that to mine. We'll jump off the Brooklyn Bridge together. Oh, man. This would be a rated R version of probably the Batman series, but it would be so much more entertaining.
Oh my God. Yeah. I laughed and enjoyed that so much more than I think the last 8 Batman movies combined.
And those were all probably like 2 hours each.
Oh my God. Yeah. So, okay, to sort of transition here, another movie that's being made, it's an interesting story here. We have Piano Man, a Billy Joel biopic, has been greenlit despite not having any rights to the artist's music, likeness, or name.
They're just going to shoot the whole movie from behind.
Well,
it's just the back of Billy Joel's head for 65 minutes.
Apparently, you can still call it Piano Man without having the song Piano Man. Although I don't know, because like surely you'd assume when you're watching it, right? That like, okay, but when we're getting to the end, he's gonna do the song, the titular song, right? Piano Man's time. Then he gets up there and he's like, hum us a tune, harpsichord guy.
Sing us a dandy, little harpsichord man.
Yeah. Do you remember 30 Rock when basically this happened? And Jenna was in what Janis Joplin biopic, and they didn't have any of the rights, so it ended up being Jackie Jorp Jomp.
Vaguely, yes.
This is the real life Jackie Jorp Jomp situation.
I don't know. This is going to be really honestly, I would say more power to them. This is a challenge, and if they can do it, that would be kind of funny.
Yeah. Well, the other question is like, do we like Billy Joel that much? Is this maybe going to be better without Billy Joel music?
Is this maybe a more inspirational story than perhaps the actual Billy Joel is in real life?
Somebody's
maybe
getting the music. What if it's great? What if it's a great movie?
What if the music is better than actual Billy Joel's music? The soundtrack's killer.
This Billy Joel guy must be amazing. Then they go listen to it. It's like, oh my God, this sucks. Why did they even tie this movie to him? Kind of.
This sucks. But if we want to do a movie like all the other famous rock stars that have come out recently, like Elton John and Freddie Mercury and all the other peoples, if we want to do a biopic, surely we would have to buy the rights to the music. No, that's half the film. The producer is like, nah, it's not an issue. I don't see that becoming a problem.
Also, I love too that presumably they went to Billy Joel and said, hey, we'd like to make a biopic about you, your life, your music, which is just a huge commercial. He gets paid a ton of money. People stream the music. They buy the music. He gets residuals from this movie. I don't know what their pitch was, but it's hilarious to me that he was like, no, I'm good. I don't want free money.
Yeah, more easy money. Nah. That's kind of funny.
It ain't about the money.
Master Bruce, I just bought the rights to Billy Joel's life. It's a handshake deal. I don't have a contract, but it's going to work out. Can you give me $100 million to film?
Actually, Alfred, I wanted to tell you about this. I have an idea for a movie about Jack Nicholson, but we don't have the rights to his voice, we don't have the rights to his face, and we don't have the rights to his life. I just want to make a movie about Jack Nicholson.
Master Bruce, you follow your dreams.
Yeah, all right.
Master Bruce, I've been waiting your whole life for you to tell me this.
I've always wanted to make movies, Alfred. I've always found little Lego characters fascinating. I would make small Lego movies as a child.
Master Bruce, what about fighting crime? What about picking up the corruption and making this city respectable again? What are we going to do about it?
Honestly, Alfred, it pays the bills.
Bruce
The police departments are so well funded these days. I think the New York Police Department has something like $9 billion in the budget. So they just give $1 billion of that to me, and I'm a billionaire. And then ergo, I'm able to fight crime with these billions. This is actually plausible.
Billionaire playboy Bruce Wayne announces he will soon be directing, writing, and producing a Jack Nicholson biopic.
After quitting previous gig on NYPD staff. Yeah, he's got an illustrious career ahead of him in these next 20 films. So I wish Bruce and Alfred all the best. Yeah. Hopefully we'll make a Batman movie someday. That's all I can say. We have some great ideas about some fresh perspective.
So, okay, my question to you, though, was what should they name not Billy Joel, but really Billy Joel in this biopic?
The Tuba Man.
Well, I think
Belly
what was it? What was that, Courtney?
Belly Jewel.
Belly Jewel.
Belly Jewel.
Piano Man, the Belly Jewel story.
You just have like a picture of Billy Joel with sort of like a belly dancer cut off and sort of
Nice little belly button ring.
Belly Joel. And it's the story of him. He's still doing the same music, but he's doing belly dancing simultaneously. It's sort of an interesting art form.
All right. Well, one last thing that, Will, you shared with me, I have not watched it, so I don't know anything about what I'm about to see here, is it's a commercial for, I think, butter.
Yeah, and it's just a commercial for butter, but let me know if you guys see anything wrong with this.
Okay.
Maybe.
Go ahead. Eat the butter. Do it.
I'm going to stop us here, Will. Is there anything I should have noticed by now?
No, she's just doing normal stuff like watering her bonsai and making her toast.
That's what I do every morning. I don't know about
I do that too.
I scroll through the butter or the bread, just like I'm looking for a file, to
Yes.
pull out. I do grab the one that seems like the right one.
Like a Rolodex of bread, if you will, sort of scrolling through, trying to find the client file.
I think everybody has a little bread Rolodex. I think that's a normal thing.
I think everybody can afford one, and I think everyone should also be able to afford a little bonsai. So this is already a very relatable commercial.
I assume that's what Rolodex had to do in the 21st century because people weren't using them for numbers anymore. Business information. So they said
switch to bread.
Somebody at Rolodex had to do a meeting and say, "Look, the future, guys, it's bread."
It's probably much like Radio Shack just switched to shakes, and they were like, "We'll just become Shake Shack."
Yeah, exactly.
Radio Shakes. Oh,
Radio Shake. That was probably one of the things they talked about. Like, I don't know, maybe we go
Radio Shakes.
Radio Shakes. You drink a shake and you listen to the radio. Then they're like, no, I don't think that's the future. I think radio. Maybe not radio. Maybe we lose.
No. You drink you have a little headphones on and drink your little shake. Somebody's like, no, we want to make burgers. Well, I want to make shakes.
Radio burger, right?
And they're like, this merger's never going to work. Burgers and technology, it can't happen.
All right.
Because when you spread the butter to every corner, you're spreading goodness to our farmer owners across.
Is that? I just said this woman seems very relatable. I can't say I've licked the butter off my bread before.
I never have. Personally, so
Courtney,
have you guys?
Butter
what? You don't?
What's the benefit?
What's the point of putting butter on it?
I'm realizing maybe I've been using bread wrong my whole life. I thought you ate the bread. I didn't realize it was like a spoon.
It's a platform for sauces.
Ah, now I get it.
But But she's not eating the platform with the sauce. She's just licking the sauce off the platform. She's just eating the butter straight up. Like I put thick.
Let's see what else she does.
She looks like she's enjoying the hell out of it.
When you get your piece of the pie, or two.
Man, I was we don't him to lick the top of that piece of pie. Just lick the whipped cream right off of it.
Look at that face. That's the kind of face when you're in the metaverse and you say something kind about Mark Zuckerberg. That's the kind of things that happen when you're like, Mark's not a lizard. He's the person that loves pie. You're like that, you know?
This looks like a screen cap from an Evil Dead movie.
It easily could be. Perhaps he's a zombie eating pie.
Or three. Farmers and their families get theirs.
Well, okay, that got a little more disturbing with the several bits of montage of just euphoria on that man's face. Wow,
I think he likes pie too much.
I know. I'm a little creeped out now. I mean, I like pie as much as the next guy, but this looks like a little bit of an obsession, and it's disturbing to watch somebody. It's disturbing to watch somebody have so much joy. I think maybe that's the problem. It's too much.
It's just also too the commercials like have one piece of pie, have 6. It helps our farmers, so fuck it if you get fat.
Lick that piece of bread once, lick it 6 times. Keep licking it until you're too tired to keep going.
Keep putting butter on that bread and don't even eat the bread. Just lick the butter off. Why would you even eat the bread? Just keep licking the butter.
Lick that bread until you get a tongue cramp.
And in fact, don't even bother with the bread. Just grab a spoon and dig into the butter.
So don't hold back. Eat the butter. Eat the cheese. Eat the cookies.
You ever see that movie, They Live, where it turns out that there's like these interdimensional beings that have taken over everything, and this one guy, if he puts on the sunglasses, can see the actual subliminal messages behind what looks like normal ads. So like you look at a billboard and it'll say just like consume or whatever, Yeah. I'm getting some vibes of that here.
A little bit.
Feels propagandistic and disturbing as well.
It feels like they're sort of encouraging you to become a hedonist or something and just eat endlessly and
eat the butter.
Eat butter forever.
Although it wasn't eat the bread, I guess. Lick the butter. Eat the cookies. No, it was like eat the cake, eat the pie, eat the cookies.
Eat the butter, lick the
bread.
Butter. Eat the cookies. It's just like, is this supposed to make me hungry or something? I don't know. I would say a McDonald's commercial makes me more hungry than this, and I don't know what they're trying to do here in the commercial. But if it's supposed to make me hungry,
eat the 3rd egg McMuffin, eat the 4th egg McMuffin,
eat 20 of them. Just slap down $100 bill and say, "Give me 20 fucking McMuffins," and just go to town because it's America, and that's the things that we do here for fun.
Eat a 7th one. Come on, keep going. Don't stop.
Mukbang. Have you ever heard of it? It's coming to America. Eat that shit. Eat so much shit you fucking kill yourself. It's just a little aggressive, I think, the marketing.
Eat it all. And eat it like you own it. Because buying our products directly benefits over 1,000 Land O'Lakes farmer owners who do.
Oh, so the turn at the end there was you got to help the farmers.
Yeah, you gotta eat the butter for the farmers.
Yeah, wow. Eat the 6th McMuffin for the farmer. The farmer wants you to eat the 7th one. Come on.
Yeah, it's 2:00 in the morning, and you can think of nothing more than butter. Just eating butter off bread, licking butter off bread.
The farmer really wants you to lick that piece of bread over and over again. You better do it for him.
Actually, the farmer doesn't make a dime off the bread, so just scrap that and grab a spoon and just dig into the tub of butter.
Send him a video of you licking that bread.
But try and sort of crop out the bread a little bit and just make it look like you're eating the butter, because the farmer kind of gets mad if they see the bread, because that benefits more the baker than the farmer. So, just for the sake of keeping everybody happy, maybe keep the butter in most of the shot.
It's not even really an economic thing. It's just to make them feel better, make them get through the day with a little bit of happiness.
and it's all about quantity over quality. So just eat the heck out of all of as much of butter as you can possibly manage, because it's going to be a wild ride in your stomach once you've swallowed about a stick or two.
eat a stick of butter. Just eat the stick. Eat a
Grab the
stick
stick
of butter.
and eat it.
Eat the third stick.
You know you want a fourth stick. Eat a fifth stick of butter. It's just like, what is this encouraging me to do? And I like butter as much as the next person, but it's not in a quantity kind of thing with butter. I've learned.
It really just showed her licking a piece of bread multiple times, and she did not take a bite of it.
Nah. Go ahead. Throw out the bread, because you're not going to eat it anyways.
Wow, that was much weirder than I thought it would be when you said it.
It's a very dystopian commercial. I don't know. I know we live in America, a land of excess, but this can't be the solution to dairy farmers' problems.
Yeah. How long before the next presidential debate is just like, who can eat the most butter?
Listen, you got to get out there and you got to make some butter. You got to make some cheddar.
I eat so much butter.
Well, look here, whippersnap.
Butter.
You can make some butter yourself. Just throw a bunch of heavy cream in a churn and go nuts with it. Just pull out your old Quaker Granny's recipe book and go.
Nobody licks a piece of toast as fast as I do. Nobody licks it as thoroughly. That piece of toast has no butter on it at all when I'm done. Let me tell you.
It's going to be great TV, but it's going to be so bad for everything else.
Yeah, well, because they get in there and they have to pander to Iowa and Philadelphia and all those places, so let
me tell you this, Butterscotch. I went in there and I ate the whole dang cow sculpture of butter at the Iowa Fair. That's how much I love butter.
Yeah. They're like,
God bless America, God bless butter farmers, and
unwrapping a stick of butter as he gets up.
Me and Flip Flop down by the pool at the diving yards used to go and eat all the butter before we swim.
Let me tell you something really quickly here. Me and Bill Churchmouse used to go down and steal sticks of butter out of Mrs. Whippersnap's windshield, and she's letting them cool on this windowsill there, like next to the pies. We used to grab them and just eat them and just pop a whole stick of butter in our mouth and just go nuts.
You know what I'm talking
down
about.
To the creek and
jump in. Children, you know what I'm talking about. You remember?
You guys remember these? Everyone has a Mrs. Whippersnap in their neighborhood.
Bags of change, and we would throw them around and hit the neighborhood kids with them, and then we'd eat the butter.
Yeah, I'm picturing they get up there and unwrap a big stick of butter. They're just kind of holding it, taking a bite, and look, I believe in the farmers. I'm here to help you. Takes a
the other
bite.
guy debating him has a stick of butter too.
The mini butters and just.
Yeah, just snacking on butter the whole
butter
time.
Balls.
Yeah. I just want the crowd to notice that I've eaten 16 little butter snacks, and Ted has had 0.
The future of the country is just a butter eating competition. Who can eat the most at the Iowa
butter
State
balls.
Fair?
That's the most American.
You said 50 butter balls?
I said turkey carved butter balls.
Perfect. They're sculpted into little bald eagles because of America. This is a beautiful path we're headed on, and it'll be interesting to see the first obese president. I'm sad Chris Christie couldn't make it, but allegedly.
That's true. Nobody's been healthier. Healthiest
man.
Yeah,
he's gonna be 150 probably. Somehow through a cruel twist of fate.
Well, what a great note for us to end on. Do we have any
we got
one more
I'm
thing?
sorry, I have a quick ad before you wrap up, but go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you do your ad.
Do you guys have any ads?
Well, I'd like to say tonight's show, one of our sponsors is me. I bought up one of our pieces of ad space because look, I just want to make sure you as a loyal fan gets first dibs at all these NFTs that I'm that I'm selling to esteemed collectors of NFTs. So go to my site, Unthinkable NFT for every frame.org. Sorry, I couldn't get a better one than that. That was the best one they had. But go to the site and please buy 10, 30, 40, 750 each. That's NFTs. Get them while they're hot.
That's incredible. That's you bought out that ad space yourself.
I did. Yes.
That's quite generous, actually. That's kind of helping us, fund the show and
I believe in it. I believe in the cause of this show. I mean, I also this show, but I mean, really, the NFTs I needed to sell because
to be
sink
honest,
a little money into the whole endeavor.
To be honest, I was actually going to just talk about this. You could buy them back yourself, and then for tax purposes, well, I mean, we could, we'll talk about it. Obviously, when
talk to my guy.
We'll talk to our tax people and see what we can do. But yeah, it's honestly a net gain in this economy. So you might have actually made a decent financial decision based on what Mark's telling me. Because Mark's telling me like the metaverse is going to take off, NFTs are going to take off, crypto is going to go nuts. So we're looking at a great future here.
That's right. All right, Courtney, do you have any sponsor messages for us?
Yeah, my sponsor this week is by Daylight Earnings. It is through the Grocery Cart Wallet app, helping you save up all of your money just in time to take it to the bank on daylight savings. Daylight Earnings. Get yours.
Nice. And if you get those savings, you get those earnings, you can spend them on NFTs of my show.
My pep used to say, if you look after the pennies, the dollars will watch themselves. And so that's very wise prophetic words. And, it sounds like
prophecy.
Yeah, it's financial wisdom.
It's news.
It is. Right. And our last sponsor today is brought to you by Chipotle. I called these folks because I've been up with 47 hours of a bad case of Montezuma's revenge. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you've ever heard of this.
I'm sorry you're going through that.
It's fine. I'm on a 7-week treatment for my Chipotle excursion, but it'll be fine in the long run. And okay, so let me just get through this read really quick. So it says Chipotle. We grill our meats most of the way through, but tender. Should say tender. I hope not tendon. Is the game.
We grill our meats most of the way through, but tendon.
I'm hoping it's a typo. So it says tender is the name of the game.
Was it a comma? Maybe it was we grill them most of the way through, but tendon.
No, there's no comma.
Are there tendons in the butt?
The hope is that you get a good cut of meat, and if you don't, it sucks. But continuing on, talk about flavor. That's not a full sentence. Talk about flavor! Exclamation point. Things are spicing up with our new Chipotle flavored enchiladas that come pre-blended for premium digestion. Enjoy it spicy beyond your wildest dreams and hot coming out with what's left of it. Our new guac contains new guacamole. I'm sorry, there's a lot of typos in here. Our new guacamole contains absolutely no peel and stem, as we have now included just a half avocado with a little lime and saltiness for $5.99. Saltiness, I should say. Saltedness. I don't know if that's a word. Our new vegan beef is a complete steak with perfect proteins and super flavor. We're talking mad Chipotle sauce, things like that. Premium excellent cut of choice Angus steed beef and chicken Chipotle salad. Sweet greens tomatillo sauce. Wow, that's a mouthful.
Eat the
steak. Lick the butter.
Lick the Chipotle sauce.
I'm surprised they don't want butter in the thing here. It says it's
chips.
It's a full day here at Chipotle. Make your meal ready, set, go, and head on over with Chipotle to go. Just say beef me to the cashier and me too. What? And okay, sorry.
Beef me and then me too.
No. Sorry, it's a typo. I should probably not say me too to the cashier.
Hey, beef me.
Me too. Yeah. Yeah. It says use code.
Say beef me to the cashier.
Yeah, that's so weird. It says say code beef.
Eat the butter. Say beef me.
Butter it. I guess that could work too. Just tell the cashier you're from the Big Schmooze. You'll get 13% off. But remember, folks, these things do not come with a gas-free guarantee. You might be up with 48 to 50 hours of stomach pain, but it's okay, ultimately. Just use it as an excuse to kickstart your new smoothie diet cleanse, which actually brings us to our other sponsor of the day, Big Chumbus Smoothie.
Wow.
Have you ever wanted a sigh? Do you love berries? Things are cooking up raw at the smoothie kitchen. Whip on down and order a Big Chumbus smoothie for only $8.75.
per serving. So
that's great.
That's a real deal. So both of these are great codes. You know, you're going to get 13% off. That's a killing. And you're going to get some cheap smoothies. It's under $10.
Well, that's great. And thank you for listening, everybody. We'll be back next week. Make sure you subscribe.
Thanks, everybody.
See ya.